To begin this message, I would like to begin with a few questions that will hopefully stir our consideration throughout this whole week. The first question is, what is God's full or complete salvation? Maybe you've got a concept of what it is, but it's something to consider. What is His full salvation? We need to think about this. Why do we need to be saved? Maybe you have some understanding, maybe you don't. But it's good to consider, why do we need to be saved? Okay, another one. From what and into what are we saved? From what and into what are we saved? Okay, another one. Why does God want to save us, and why can He alone save us? Why does He want to save us, and why does He alone have the ability to save us? So these questions to consider. One last one. How does He save us, and what do we have to do to be saved? This is a long list of questions related to salvation, but it's very important to be considering this because we'll be on this matter of God's complete salvation for a while. And so now with these questions in mind, beginning with what does God's full salvation mean, I want to bring us back to the title of this week's message, which is God's eternal purpose and His economy. Our God is a God of purpose, and He has a purpose. And related to that, there's this matter of His economy, which I'll mention later. But anyhow, God is an eternal God, and He has an eternal purpose, meaning that this purpose has not changed. And this purpose started back in eternity past. Well before there was anything, there was something in God's heart, something of a desire. We all have had the experience of having some kind of desire or a want. Surely everybody here has wanted something at some time. Well, God has a desire, He has a want, and His desire and want are of the highest nature. He is the highest being, and so just like our nature and our desire is on a certain level, God's is even higher because He's an even higher being. And so His desire and His purpose, we can see it actually in the book of Ephesians. It goes back to eternity past. In the book of Ephesians, before there was anything, when He was alone, there was this desire. And so Ephesians mentions this matter. There's an eternal purpose in His heart. And so when we get to this week, we'll come through and we'll see a number of matters of His developing of this purpose. So one last thing. Okay, so God's eternal purpose is according to His good pleasure. So He has a good pleasure. And so His good pleasure is this, to have a corporate vessel to express Himself. This is the desire in His heart. So, okay, what is a corporate vessel for starters, and what does it mean to express oneself? Well, for God to be expressed means the things that are in God can be seen, right? Right now, you're seeing some of my facial expressions, right? If I was sad, my face would be sad. If I was happy, I've got a smile. There's some expression. There's something of me coming through. And so that's the same thing. There is something in God that He wants people to be manifest. He wants people to see. And so in this matter, He had a way to carry this out. So in His thought, He had a desire to create a corporate vessel. And particularly, He had a desire to create man as a corporate vessel. And so in the first book of the Bible, we see how God's purpose is carried out. And this began in Genesis 1:26. Actually, there's a number of things before Genesis 1:26, but in Genesis 1:26, we really see something of what's in God's heart. Right? In the very beginning of Genesis, it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Okay, and there's a number of things in between there, but when He really gets to the thing that's in His heart, it's in Genesis 1:26. And He said, there's a conference, right? When He created a number of things, He just spoke and they were. He just spoke and they were. But when it came to Genesis 1:26, there was a conference. There was a conference among the Godhead. There's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. They're having a conference. I don't know how that's possible, but it is. He had a conference with Himself, and He considered, let us make man in our image.